phase,
They're
actually.
usually pretty good.
Better than they did in the draft, yeah.
But to me, at least in the short term, where I'm spending most of my analysis or grading most heavily is the first 3 picks. That's your opportunity to improve your team now on a win now team that's old, that's trying to get over the hump. And again, you haven't had these high picks in a while. So make them count. Let's go back through what the Niners did. Round 1, it was initially reported that the Niners were going to take Cooper DeJean. Isn't this true? Mike Silver reported it. It's a couple other people may have reported it as well. Cooper DeJean. I'm standing there in the sitting there at my cubicle in media room. Mike Silver says it. Cooper DeJean. And I'm thinking, great pick. A+. I'm trying to start to think all the nice things I'm going to say. I love it because this was my draft crush. And then it's like, nope. Ricky Pearsall. And it was surprising we'd all heard of him, but no one mocked him in round 1. I never saw that.
Nobody.
And that doesn't mean he will be bad, but wow. I didn't think that wide receiver. Well, when they made the pick, you're thinking they're going to trade Ayuk or Debo, but then they don't. So now what are you thinking about this pick?
Well, I'm assuming the only way I can explain it really is that I'm assuming they probably thought they were moving on from BA or Debo, or maybe they still do, or at some point, or Jawan Jennings even. Like, they got to think there's 11 wide receivers on this team. They're going to keep 6. There's 11.
Is that true? 11.
11.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. They're going to keep 6 at most. And I actually like the 4th round wide receiver that he got. Cowing might end up being better than Pearsall, if we're being real. That's a possibility. And so there were a ton of really good wide receivers. One of my favorite wide receivers has a very similar skill set to Pearsall, which is Malik Washington, who the Miami Dolphins ended up getting at pick 156. Oof. And to me, here's the thing. Like, the biggest, I'm a big like offensive line. Like, I just want to see the 49ers have an amazing offensive line. And to me, there was a day 1 starter upgrade at center in Jackson Powers Johnson that was available, that the Raiders ended up taking, that I think would have been a no question impact game changer for the 49ers upgrade over Jake Brendel that they passed on. And that's who I would have got in round 1 if it was me.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick. I would have went a different direction. I like that pick. To me, I'm looking at, the way I look at it is, did he fill a need? No. Maybe next year, but you can draft a wide receiver next year. You don't necessarily need to take a guy who's about to turn 24 and redshirt him. The whole idea, this is your first round pick in a long time, and the last one you had, you redshirted and it didn't work out. You want someone who can help you win the Super Bowl. Your core is Kittle, Hargrave, Leonard Floyd, Trent Williams. They're all getting old. You want to make your move now. So this is an opportunity. And you took a wide receiver who's not going to help you now and isn't best player available. I don't like taking wide receivers in round 1 anyway. Only time you take a wide receiver in round 1 to me is if you think he's going to be Hall of Famer, because they're so expensive to re-sign. And even if he's not a Hall of Famer, look at the deal with Debo and Ayuk, like all pro once, and you had to just pay him top of the market. I don't like taking wide receivers in round 1, especially if you don't need to. So I'm looking at early round 2, picks 40, 41, 42, 43. 3 corners in a row go off the board. Eagles take Cooper DeJean. Saints take Kool-Aid McKinstry. Texans, D'Amico Ryans takes Kamari Lassiter. And the Cardinals take Max Melton. Pick one of those names out of a hat. I'll take one of those guys. I would have taken Cooper DeJean. He's also a really good punt returner, better than Ricky Pearsall. And he could have made all kind of an impact for the Niners. Instead, he's going to the Eagles. So the Niners could have to see him in the NFC or the playoffs. I would have taken him, but Kool-Aid McKinstry would have been great. Kamari Lassiter, I mean, D'Amico knows what he's doing. That's an opportunity. He got him. And then Max Melton's in the division. One of those 4. I would have went DB corner in round 1.
See, I understand the DB pick mostly because these guys are out of contract. I will say, even before Renardo Green, the pick, then we'll talk about him. But even before him, I think the DBs, Croc said he likes DB. That was a big need for him as well when I talked to him. But to me, it's like I feel like the 49ers corner room was better than it's been in a long time before the draft with Yeadham, Rock Ya-Sin, Charvarius Ward, Giamador Lenore. So I liked it before the draft. That's why to me it's like and maybe I'm just too focused on offensive line as just in general. But I didn't play a ton of football growing up. I was a right tackle and a nose tackle. That's all I know is football when I was a young man. I really just love offensive line, and I feel like the right side of this line is probably the biggest weakness on this team. And to me, that's why I would have got Jackson Powers Johnson as an upgrade. So, but I hear your point.
It's a good call.
I think the overall point is
center. I wasn't thinking of that. Yeah, it's good. Yeah. You could play him at right guard for a year and then move him to center when Jake Brendel is done, or just get rid of Jake Brendel. I was thinking offensive tackle, and what's rough, Tyler Guyton would have been a good pick. He went 29. Jordan Morgan went 25. Like the Niners, if they really wanted an offensive tackle in round 1, could have traded up a few spots. Like the Chiefs did. The Chiefs went from 32 to 28, and they got a wide receiver who's going to start for them and make an impact. The Niners just waited, and they missed out on Tyler Guyton and Jordan Morgan and Graham Barton.
And we'll see, like on like Graham Barton is another guy. If you're going to move up, get Graham Barton. To me, when I look at this draft class, so many offensive tackles off the board. By the time the Niners drafted, they're drafting the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th best tackle. So for me, it was like, let's not get tackle here. Let's get it in round 2, and let's get that center. They could have got the center, lockdown, upgrade over Jake Brendel, no question. And then in round 2, instead of trading with the guys that just beat you in the damn Super Bowl and letting them get an offensive tackle, you had a choice of getting Kingsley or Double R, Roger Rosengarten. Those boys, if they could have, they were right there for the taking. And so that's what I would have done. That's my
I would have went DB. I do think that, I mean, Tyler Guyton does seem like he's going to start for the Cowboys, and Jordan Morgan seems like he's going to start at left tackle for the Packers. Those are playoff teams, and the Niners could have gotten a potential starter at offensive tackle, but they missed out. I think 4 DBs were available who were really good. I like the center you said. Either one. Yeah. In my mock, I'm going DB, you're going center. Either one is better than, to me, what they did.